Good morning, Otters. Hope you're all well. We're halfway through the week. Hope you've been getting on okay with all of your work and everything. So, back to the story. Felix and Zelda are hiding from the Nazi soldiers. Felix has been thinking about what they can do. The only place he thinks he can go to is the orphanage, but he knows it's too far away. And that he's going to have to risk asking a grown-up for help. Then I fell asleep, and the next morning me and Zelda went to find some new parents. Slowly, carefully, watching out for Nazis. "Why?" says Zelda sleepily, rubbing her eyes as we creep along the forest path. "Why do we need new parents?" "To keep us safe," I tell her. "To look after our sore fingers and give us breakfast." Zelda thinks about this. We're both shivering in the cool, damp morning air. We haven't had anything to eat or drink for a whole day and 2 nights. I can see that she likes the idea of a hot breakfast as much as I do. While I keep my eyes peeled for Nazi soldiers in the undergrowth and Nazi dive bombers above the trees, I tell her my plan. She listens quietly, but not for long. "No!" she shouts, and plonks herself down at the side of the path. I knew Zelda wouldn't like this part of the idea, the part that involves going back to the big hole with the children in it. I don't like it either, but it's a vital and important part of the plan. I try not to get irritated with Zelda. Hunger and thirst can make you really grumpy if you're not careful. "You won't have to see the children," I explained to her. "They'll probably be covered up with earth. A grave is a really good place to meet new parents. If their mums and dads are still alive, sooner or later they'll want to visit the place where their kids are buried, and we'll be there, offering ourselves as replacements." Zelda frowns as she thinks about this. I glance nervously around the forest. I'm hoping she'll agree. It's a really good plan, but I'm also hoping she'll do it quietly. "What does replacement mean?" says Zelda. "Parents with dead kids sometimes adopt new ones," I explain. "It's no trouble for them. They've already got the bedroom set up and everything." Zelda slowly stands up. I can see she's starting to understand what a good idea this is. But before she can tell me how grateful she is to have such a clever family as me, there's a snapping and crackling nearby, and something hurtles towards us out of the undergrowth. For a panicked second, I think it's a Nazi dog, one of those big vicious killer brutes trained to bite you even through your clothes. I try to get between Zelda, who's cowering and whimpering, and the vicious killer brute. Except now I can see it isn't a vicious killer brute. It's another kind of dog, big and floppy and panting with untidy brown fur like an old armchair with stuffing showing. And big, sad eyes that stare up at me while it licks a bare bit of my tummy through a rip in my shirt. "Stop that," says Zelda sternly to the dog. "It's rude to lick tummies." I don't mind. Mum used to lick my tummy when I was little. The dog turns and starts licking Zelda's arm. She stops frowning and starts chuckling. I look around for the dog's owner. I have a feeling he or she probably isn't a Nazi, but you can't be too careful. Before I can spot anything, a whistle echoes through the trees and the dog gives Zelda one last lick and runs off into the undergrowth. I still can't see anybody. "Pity," I say to Zelda. "A person who owns a dog like that is probably nice." Zelda thinks about this. Suddenly, she yells as loud as she can. "Hey, dog man or dog lady! We're over here! Felix and Zelda! 2 kids who need breakfast and a mummy and daddy!" In a panic, I put my hand over Zelda's mouth. Every Nazi in Poland probably heard that. Zelda pulls my hand away. "I was going to say please," she mutters, glaring. Before I can remind her we're in a war zone, I hear more sounds coming through the trees. Thudding sounds. Rattling sounds. Getting closer. I grab Zelda and look frantically around for a hiding place in the ferns and creepers. Somewhere marching Nazi soldiers with machine guns won't spot us. I see a place. "Come on," I hiss at Zelda. She doesn't move. I love having her as my family, but sometimes I wish she wasn't so stubborn. "Look," she says, pointing, her eyes going big. I turn and look. Coming round a bend in the forest path is a wooden cart, rattling and squeaking, pulled by a plodding horse with thudding hooves. The driver is an old man. I check to see if the nice dog is riding on the cart or running alongside. It doesn't seem to be. The old man sees us and winks. Zelda is staring at him with big eyes. "The kind cook," she whispers. He doesn't have oranges piled up in his cart or chocolate, but he's got something almost as good. A huge mound of crisp, fresh turnips. Suddenly I can taste them and I feel weak with hunger. Normally I don't like turnips, especially raw, but now the thought of that turnip juice running down my throat makes me desperate to have some. The old man stops the cart. I can't see the nice dog anywhere. "You kids lost?" says the old man. "No," I say. "Yes," says Zelda. Right now she'll say anything for a turnip. The man looks at us thoughtfully. "Get on," he says. "I'll give you a lift." I hesitate. "Where are you going?" I ask. "To my farm," says the man. I think about this. "Did you grow those turnips?" I say. The man nods. I put my arm around Zelda. I'm pretty sure the man isn't telling the truth about where he's going. I don't know much about farming, but where I come from, if a person grows turnips on his farm, the reason he puts them in a cart is to take them to town. And in my experience, towns are where Nazi soldiers have their headquarters. "Actually," I say, "could we just have a turnip?" "Or some sausages," says Zelda. The man smiles, but there's something a bit strange about the way he does it. "Hop on," he says. "You can eat as much as you like on the way." Zelda starts to climb onto the cart. The man reaches behind him and lifts her up. I step forward to pull her back down, but I'm so hungry I'm starting to feel dizzy and my tummy's making me have second thoughts. Maybe we should go with the man. He might be telling the truth. He might be going back home to get something he's forgotten, like more turnips. He might give us stew and let us work for him and even offer to be our new parent or grandparent. If he's lying, we can always jump off the cart and hide before we get to town. I grab onto the side of the cart and begin to climb up after Zelda. And stop. Nailed to one side of the cart, right next to my face, is a tattered paper notice with printing on it. At the top is one word in big letters. Jews. I read the rest of the notice. "Reward," it says. "For each Jew captured and handed over, 200 zloty and 1 bottle of vodka." Suddenly, I'm not hungry anymore. I'm thinking clearly again. This is why the man wants to take us to town, to get a Nazi reward. I drop back into the ground. "Zelda," I yell, "jump off!" Zelda glares down at me and shakes her head. Her cheeks are bulging and she's got mud and turnip juice round her mouth. "Zelda!" I scream. "It's a trap!" The horse rears up. The old man swears at me. The cart lurches forward. The old man doesn't try to stop it. He obviously thinks one reward is better than nothing. I run after the cart. The back flap is held in place by 2 big rusty metal pins. I grab them and twist them out. The flap drops and hundreds of turnips roll off the cart and knock me over. Zelda rolls off the cart too. "Ow!" she says as we lie on the ground with the turnips. She takes her knee out of my mouth. "That hurts. Don't you know anything?" I'm not thinking about knees, not even Zelda's hurting one. I'm thinking about the horrible thing I glimpsed in the cart after the load started spilling and before my glasses got knocked off. A boy, half buried in turnips, not moving. The old man must have already caught one Jewish kid today and bashed him unconscious and hidden him under the turnips. The cart has stopped and the old man has jumped down and is picking up turnips and yelling angry at us. For a fraction of a second, I wonder if I should try to rescue the boy. No, get Zelda to safety. You have to look after your family first. Plus, the boy could already be dead. I find my glasses and scramble up and grab Zelda's hand and drag her into the forest without looking back at the cart. "Run!" I pant at her, and we both do. We run until we're out of breath, which happens pretty quickly when you're weak from no food. We flop to the ground behind a big tree. I'd like to be further away from the man, but I'm hoping he won't want to leave his cart in case somebody steals the Jewish boy to get the reward. When my breath quietens down, I listen carefully. It doesn't sound like the man is following us. He wasn't a kind cook, was he? Whispers Zelda. I shake my head. Sorry, she says sadly. I didn't get you a turnip. That's okay, I say. Looking at Zelda's kind, concerned face, I feel a glow inside that makes the hunger seem not so bad. I know what we can do, Zelda says. After the man's finished picking up his turnips up and he's gone, we can go and see if he's missed one. Good idea, I say. I don't tell her that no matter how hungry I am, I'm not sure if I could eat a turnip that's had blood on it. Zelda gives me a hug. Thanks for saving me, Felix, she says. I'm lucky to have you as my family. I'm about to tell her I'm lucky to have her as my family too, but I don't get the chance. Twigs snap. I try to spin round. Too late. Run and you're dead, says a gruff voice. Strong hands grab us. We're going to leave it there. Who has grabbed them? Is it the same old man? Is it a Nazi? Or is it somebody else? I hope you'll have a wonderful day. Email me if you need any help with anything, and I will check in with you again tomorrow. See you later.